All right, let's get to the games. We got 2 on Saturday, 14 on Sunday. The first Saturday game, Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens win, and they win the AFC North. And it looks like they might win, Sam.
You think?
They're favored by 17.5.
Yeah.
Against the Browns. 3-13 Browns, 11-5 Ravens.
That's quite a large spread for a division game.
It's a 17.5 point spread with a 41.5 over-under per our friends at FanDuel.
Wow.
Which means, they're 28-3 type of game here is in the cards.
Yeah.
Reason to watch?
I mean, there's reasons to watch. Number one, Josh Allen's probably not playing. Joe Burrow will be the MVP. We've got to keep track of the final MVP statement to be made.
Last MVP moments for Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson's final MVP his closing arguments is what we're going to be seeing here.
I do think Lamar's best statement to make is less touchy-feely this year and more the stats.
Yeah. So
because
if he just goes out there and throws another 5 touchdowns on the board, his case becomes even harder to argue against.
What is he at, 42? Because it's a little disingenuous to add passing and rushing touchdowns and put him against interceptions because you have to put fumbles in there to make it better. But what is he at, 42 touchdowns and 4 picks?
Total? Yeah.
More, whatever it is. If he tacks on 4 or 5 more touchdowns.
Right, and doesn't throw an interception.
And that's what I think gets to the voters the most, is not so much the feels. They're going to go at the end of the year, and your colleagues, AP voters, the other 49 are going to look at these stats and be like, they're going to go to write in their vote, and they're like, I think it's Josh Allen, and then they're going to see the stats side by side. I think that's going to have an impact. And be like, wait a second, I need to reconsider Lamar. He has 48 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions.
But last year it went the other way. Last year it went the other way.
No, it didn't, though.
It did. Lamar Jackson's stats were not as good as Dak Prescott's stats last year, but Lamar had those signature games all the way along. And it was like Lamar's MVP.
Dak was never, because people watched the games enough to know that Dak wasn't in the conversation, because in every big game, he's stat padded, right? We know that this is like a toss-up. We know that Lamar and Allen is a toss-up. So you're stepping into this toss-up situation, and on paper, you're going to see the stats, and you're going to see Lamar's touchdowns to interceptions, and that's going to influence people. I'm telling you, at least 5 people that vote like you do are going to be influenced merely by those 2 stats sitting side by side. And Lamar has a chance to
what do you mean vote like I do?
Have a vote. Get a chance to vote.
Right.
Not vote in the manner that you do.
Got it. Important
vote as you do.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, that's what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a reason to watch, right? What Lamar does and adds to his tally.
Myles Garrett's questionable. He's the other reason to watch.
Right. That's unfortunate, and that the only reason to watch for the Browns side of things might not be playing. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, so you're at the point of the – look, we're not going to break down too much of the X's and O's of a lot of these games. Detroit, Minnesota, we will more. But Cleveland, half their team, you rest people who are hurt and end a lot of seasons. So Cleveland's just finishing out the string. Baltimore's trying to stay healthy, take care of business. They win the North, and if they win, they will have the 3 seed locked up.
Yep.
And home playoff game, because they could still technically lose the North to Pittsburgh.
I don't think Cleveland can jump anybody in terms of draft position. They're 3rd at the moment behind New England and Tennessee. I think if they finish on the same win total as New England and Tennessee, they remain behind them. But theoretically, again, we've talked before, the Browns having a way to get a quarterback would be very valuable for a team that's kind of stuck with Deshaun Watson contractually, right? And people are projecting various other quarterbacks into that starting spot. But the cheapest way out of this mess is a rookie. And if they actually found themselves in position to draft a rookie, I think they would find that quite a nice roster salve. And for it like that, Andrew Berry, there's a lot of analytics driving this Browns organization. Generally, they might be one team that actually is institutionally motivated to not fight that hard in this game.
Intern Anthony's done the good research for us. I mean, it is, if the rare thing happens here, Tennessee and New England do win and Cleveland loses, you have number 1.
Yeah, I mean,
New
New England
the path to number 1. It's 9.2% chance here.
New England in particular are facing a Buffalo team with nothing to play for. So,
and Houston's not really playing for anything, right?
Right.
With Tennessee, and Tennessee's wearing the old Oilers jerseys. A lot of Houston fans get upset about that, but
Houston have been playing pretty badly. So
yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility. So that's the game. That's the first game on Saturday. The other stat just to highlight here, Baltimore #1 scoring defense since week 11. Right? We still have it in our head that maybe the early season defensive woes are there. They have turned a corner. It is similar to Mike McDonald's first year where they started slow in 2022 and maybe turned it around. Is that Kyle Hamilton moving back, some turnover at corner, Nate Wiggins maybe emerging at corner. There's been some changes in Baltimore's defense, and so maybe peaking at the right time on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of the game last week, I floated the idea or the case for Kirby Joseph as Defensive Player of the Year. I think you could make a similar case for Kyle Hamilton as Defensive Player of the Year. Again, it's kind of contingent on the fact that there's no absolutely dominant standout defensive lineman that generally win those awards. But Kyle Hamilton, for the second year in a row, was a dominant force in and around the line of scrimmage. I mean, he completely changes what you can run, wide receiver screens, short stuff to his side of the field. And Baltimore's defense on the back end was in real trouble earlier in the season. They shifted Hamilton. They moved him back into the secondary, started playing him way more as a true free safety, and the entire group was transformed. Now, was that a one-to-one? Kyle Hamilton moving back equals Baltimore's defense becoming the best in the NFL? Probably not, but I think it's probably a significant factor in that. He's got, a very good PFF grade. It's right up there with the best safeties in the NFL. He's essentially excelled at two radically different positions within the secondary this season. I think you can make a Defensive Player of the Year case for Kyle Hamilton as well.
I like it, man. Look at you putting all the cases out there. All right, man, let's make a pick. 17.5 is a spread. Baltimore at home against the Browns.
I am going with the Ravens to cover a giant point spread.
DTR, what's he averaging? 3.5 yards per attempt in his career?
Yeah, the worst in NFL history. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.